All right, so I have been recently waking up very early, around 5 o'clock, 5:30, and then I go straight to the gym, work out, and I get back home, and 90% of people are still asleep. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there who say, oh, well, successful people wake up whenever they want to, so it doesn't really matter when you wake up. However, I have noticed a dramatic change in my life and my lifestyle since waking up earlier. Now, the biggest thing and the biggest reason why I believe is because you're taking back control of your life. When I wake up, when I sleep in, and then I go straight to work, it feels like my day is running me, like my schedule, like I'm just following my schedule. I have no control over what I'm doing with my day or my life. However, when you do these little things like waking up early or taking a cold shower or eating the right foods, it's like you're taking back control of your life, and you're separating that the mind and body, because your body is always going to crave the opposite of what you know you need. Everybody always, exactly what you're supposed to do, but yet you don't do it. Why is that? It's because your body controls you, not your mind. So my friend, he's coming into town this weekend, and he's running a full marathon. All right, and just for reference, I don't run at all. I hardly ever run. I train on the boxing bag, so I have decent cardio. But I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna run a marathon. And then I kind of thought about it. I'm like, okay, I've never run a day in my life. Well, I used to a long time ago. So I decided I'm just gonna run a half marathon. And the reason why I'm doing this is just to prove to myself that I'm capable of doing anything that I put my mind to. Okay, so I'm gonna run the last 13 miles with him with no training whatsoever, just to see if I can do it, just to see if it's possible, just to see if when I put my mind to something, I'm capable of doing it. And the whole reason I'm doing this is to separate that mind and body. Because when you're following with what your body wants, that's when you're gonna sleep in. That's when you're gonna eat crappy. That's when you're gonna do the things that you know are negatively impacting your life, like doom scrolling. Oh my gosh. I have to put an end to this doom scrolling. Oh my gosh, I scroll on Instagram Reels too much. It's bad. Like 3 hours a day, maybe. It's bad. It's not good, and I know it's not good. So I really just need to take back control of my life. I'm letting the little time that I have slip out of my hands for pointless stuff like that. So I'm doing this to take back control of my life. Take back control. So I'm gonna give an update after I run it and how well I did. Okay, so we just got back from the marathon / half marathon. How do you feel?
Fine, honestly, it was not that bad.
Yeah, it was light work. Pretty much throughout the race, it was probably the easiest thing I've ever done. I'm not maybe the last 2 miles were kind of tough, and I know it's not fair for me to say that as he just ran a full marathon, but running a half marathon was literally the easiest thing ever. You literally just ignore the pain. My legs are in so much pain right now. It's impossible to even move. But when you're running, if you just ignore the pain, it's probably the most easiest thing that you'll ever do. Everybody overcomplicates it. And all these old people were like, oh, you can't run a marathon without training. You can't do this. Real stuff though, it was probably the easiest thing I've ever done. And I did learn a lot about myself, I guess. I learned that I can run a half marathon if I want to. And the other thing was I probably would not have kept pace and finished in the time I did. I think I ran the last 13 miles at a 9:30 pace, and I would not have done that if I were not running next to him. So that leads me to my next point, which is having somebody next to you will actually take you further. Because if it was just me out there and I was running alone, I probably would have quit. Not quit, I wouldn't have quit, but I probably would have stopped and started walking, or I would have taken my time because it wasn't that big of a deal. It's just me out there. But when you have somebody else out there keeping you accountable, that's when you get so much more stuff down. You get so much more stuff done, and you can actually achieve so much more just by having somebody on that same journey with you. Find somebody who's on the same path as you that can join you in that journey and keep you accountable. And it's going to push you even harder and harder, especially if you're a competitive person and you don't like losing, especially to that person. It's going to push you even harder and make you achieve even more.